Hey, check in with Burn for Me, the first in the Hidden Legacy series by Alona Andrews, urban fantasy in a world where there's magic users because there's been some kind of serum that has been given to people that they hid, but it has restructured society because people can inherit their magic powers. We're all on focused on Nevada. She is the head of her family's private investigation thing. She's been hired to track down Adam. I want to say Levine, Adam something of a house, who is an arrogant sociopath who Nevada's found out in the earlier chapters is, yes, an arrogant sociopath who basically just does, is an egomaniac who will kill anyone who denies him whatever he wants. In this sections, we find out that very much he she is able to kind of get his money cut off, and get his mother to say, sweeten the pot, say like, look, just come in, you'll get to go to a wonderful island and just relax. Sorry, I got water splooshed on me. Relax, and we'll find someone to take the fall for your murder and theft and arson at this bank, which is why he's on the run. He says when she catches his attention, when Nevada catches his attention, he says, "Run away with me." It's like she's a challenge, so he's like, "Run away with me," and she realizes, I can't say flatly no, and I'll say maybe, but don't get yourself killed, Adam. And he, ooh meanwhile, Rogan cap kidnaps him. The Mad Dog Rogan, cat, kidnaps Nevada, puts her under an interrogation thing, tries to squeeze the information out of her. She defeats it by actually confessing a different deep truth, which is that she knew about her father's diagnosis for cancer like a year beforehand, but didn't tell the family, and so it's her fault that her father died because they didn't get to it sooner. Which is debatable, but it's one of those things that would be like one of those large, deep secrets that someone would carry around. Um, she she stands up to the guy who, when he kidnaps her just after she's had a meeting with Adam, and he comes forward, and it's like there isn't a damp seat in the house, as they might say in Twilight. It's like, my God, all my female hormones are just completely on fire, and then suddenly she realizes it's him, but then it's too late, and she gets kidnapped. Because he throws something around her, and it basically he's able to use his telekinetic powers to squeeze her suddenly, and she blacks out, and then finds herself in the interrogation thing. So yes, there's heavy, oh my God, panting of lust, and also anger, and all these kind of, he's trying to dominate her, she's resisting, but oh my God, she'd love to be dominated, kind of. It's wow. It's good to see female fantasy. It does it does me good because it makes me feel better about all my male fantasy crap. Well, there's female version of this too. Okay, that's good. And I'm glad it's being indulged as well. Um, and yeah, so she goes off to a meeting with Rogan where actually, first she gets herself after that little encounter, she gets herself implanted with these shockers, which are these weird mystical things which you can have implanted into your arms. They'll sink into your bones, hurts like hell. And depending on your magic power, it depends on how lethal they are. Now, when the guy puts them in, he says like, well, it shouldn't, for a prime, it could be completely lethal, but Obviously primes don't need this. Now let's, you give this guy, my assistant here, just a little tap. And so she does, and she almost kills the guy, really almost kills the guy. And he's really pissed off and has an argument with her grandmother who's brought him in and says, like, you should have told me, which is obviously that she does have prime level powers. It's just like she has prime level truth telling powers, or maybe other bits that she is unaware of herself. She's obviously highly powerful, and indeed later we see some of that power when she goes up toe to toe with Rogan. But yeah, so she goes to the meeting with Rogan at this restaurant where they have kind of a toe to toe. He tries to put her into a magic circle at the very beginning of the thing, but she spots that. He demonstrates his power. Like, how do I know that you're actually Rogan? I want to see some ID. And what he does is he levitates a chopstick. And there's like certain levels, like, oh, okay, you can levitate it. You can hold it. Oh, that shows precision. But then he carefully slices it, like shaves it into tiny little shaves. And then it falls and arranges into like a flower pattern on the thing. At which point people like run away from the restaurant, and one woman who also just like all Twitter gives her his number unasked, and so it's like it's actually a really good way of showing exactly how powerful he is with something as small and simple as a chopstick, which I thought was really cool, and just showing the other people's around the restaurant reacting to it, of like just how stunningly powerful someone would have to be to do that. And at the end of the thing, her last snipe is, oh, and if you're going to project yourself into my dreams, make sure you're wearing more next time, because she's had a hot dream about him, which she assumes she could project. And he's like, I'd have to be touching you to be able to do that. What was I not wearing in your dream? At which point she's just like, oh, fuck. But at that point, they get a notification that there's a fire at her back at the family compound. She's like, oh, okay, grandma often has fires in the compound. It's like, no, there's two fires. There's one at the front door, and there's one at the one in the garage. And she's like, holy fuck. And she starts calling, and nobody picks up. She jumps into the car with her mother, who has come along with her sniper rifle to just be back up at this meeting. And they tear there, and both the front door and the garage are both chained shut with holes that have been bored into them. And it's like, oh my god, we have to ram the door to get in. Suddenly Rogan shows up. He stops their car before it hits them very easily and pops open the door. They're able to get in immediately, and there's grandma clubbed over the head, lying on the floor. Rogan brings in his investigators. It's like somebody has done a very good job of making the stuff. The accelerant wasn't the cigarette. Somebody put something incredibly hot on the back end of the thing to ignite this. All the security cameras have been melted. This is Adam who's decided that, oh, you should run away, your family is holding you down, has tried to kill all her family because he's a complete psychopath. What we found out from Rogan is indeed what we already know, that he's not interested in Adam. He's interested in this Adam Waverly guy. He's given what's her name? He's given Nevada camera of them actually doing the bank job. And what happened is they had a contained circle, which they put basically ignited napalm into, and he teleported that into the bank. But actually what he did is he teleported something out of the bank, and then the napalm thing into the bank, causing the huge explosion, killing the officer, horribly burning the family. So that's what's up. And the thing is, it's like, he's not done yet. He needs to do something else before he's done it. And so he wants to trail Nevada along, so that they won't, the family won't unleash, severe people to come and get him. They just want to like trail him along, like, oh, maybe you will talk him into coming in on his own, because he's got other stuff he wants to do first. It's like, well, what does he want to do first? And that there's probably a third person involved in the bank job, because somebody had to tag that bank vault, because Adam Waverly isn't that good of a teleporter. They would have had to tag it so he would have been able to get in and out whatever it was going with. So somebody else is involved in this crime as well. Who could it be? And who's got accounts at this bank, and whose stuff has gone missing? These are all good questions. So yes, there's kind of the crime, but there's also just the whole, oh my God, Mad Dog Rogan is so freaking hot, and we have like all these descriptions of his chiseled chest and bulging biceps and all that stuff, which is hilarious, which I'm really enjoying. All right, I'll leave it there for tonight. Good night.